Hello, happy Friday, TGIF. You know I got a story time, so let's go. Um, Today I'm doing some pizza. I got a Supreme. Normally Fridays is like movie night for me and my kids, aka the Gremlins. So either I'll order like a pizza or maybe some Chipotle or something like that. You know, your girl got some wings. And I don't discriminate between flats and drumsticks. Like, girl, it's all good to me. I got story time. Please, if you have to, make sure to pause this video because we're going to get into the nitty gritty of everything. And make sure to like, subscribe, follow, and enjoy. Make sure that you get your snacks, whatever you need to get. Let's get into it. I am chilling with some peoples at the time. And y'all already know I get my spicy jalapeno ranch. This is my jam. I'm chilling with some folks of mine at the time. And I'm there for like the weekend. And so one of their people stops through and, little joint that, again, not really my prototype. Ooh, y'all, I was about to mess up. First bite. Okay. Not really my prototype. It's all good though, because I'm not really like just all physical. I'm also about mental, emotional, spiritual, stuff like that. Anyway, so little joint stops past, and he's like, he see me or whatever, and he's, inquiring about me, and so we get to talking, like vibe, vibe was nice. He was cool. He's like, hey, he was like, I definitely would love to, have you come past my spot, chill, whatever, hang out, have a drink or two. And, if you want to go to dinner. Y'all already know I'm a foodie. I told y'all in the previous video, I've been like this. So, I don't really drink too much, but, food, I was like, okay, well. But like I said, the vibe was right. He was cool. And anyway, so I'm like, all right, cool. So we exchanged numbers and we talked for, I'll say, give it about 2 weeks or so. And so we talking. He's, great conversation. He's funny. And so anyway, one day he's like, yeah, I definitely want to link up, take you to dinner, whatever. So I just so happened to be running some errands that day. I get a phone call, and it's some chick, and she hits my line, and she's like, hey. She's like, I seen your number in my boyfriend's phone. I was like, you sure you got the right number? Good, y'all. I didn't like that. I don't need to chase nobody else's man. For real. Capable of getting my own. So, I said, no, you might have the wrong number, ma'am. She was like, no, this definitely the number, whatever, that was on my man's phone. So I said, maybe he programmed the number incorrectly or whatever. I said, but you definitely got the wrong number. So she was like, well, do you happen to know a Roger? So I said, no, ma'am. You have a nice day. So that was that. Anyway. Oh, that's good, y'all. I got some mild wings and a supreme pizza. Mm, 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 mm. From my local pizza parlor. So, I said, no, ma'am. Oh, no, Roger. Have a nice day. So she got off the phone. And I go about my business, run some errands and do stuff I need to do for the day. So I talked to him a little bit later. And I tell him the situation. I'm like, yeah, a little joint called me. Asking for a Roger. Now, mind you, I just started talking to this dude. Wasn't interested in him, like, future. But I said the vibe was cool. He was cool. So, but I still asked, like, you wouldn't happen to, like, is one of your homeboys named Roger or whatever? So he's like, oh, that's weird. He was like, nah. And so I was like, okay. I said, because it's ironic that I get this type of phone call when I start talking to you. But he had introduced himself as David. So I'm like, and anyway, so we fast forward like another 2 weeks or so. So we've been talking for about 30 days. And so we finally go hang out. So we go out to dinner. We do something a little cheap, like Fridays or something like that. Little cocktails, have a couple wings or whatever. But again, the conversation is good. So he was like, hey, the new Spider-Man or whatever came out. So I got the little, bootleg joint if you want to come past, my home and watch it. I'm like, I'm a big, comic fan, Marvel fan. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to come through. So we stopped past this place. We watching a movie, having a good time. And y'all, he lives in like the ghetto, right? And there's always something popping off in the ghetto. So at some point while in the middle of the movie, and the movie's good too. In the middle of the movie, there's some other chaos going on the outside, like in real life. And it's like some chick yelling. She was like, oh, you no good bastard. And woo woo woo, like going off. So I'm like, dang, somebody arguing. Like, that's crazy. Whole time. So I look at him. I'm like, yo, that's crazy what's going on outside. So he's like, yeah, that's every day around here, whatever, So I was like, yeah, that's wild. I don't live in the ghetto. I didn't grow up in the ghetto. However, I'm aware, what I'm saying, of how certain things go. But he's very like nonchalant about the whole situation. So I'm just like, all right. So we go back to, of course, watching the movie. And so at some point, I hear a knock at the door. And we in the back in his room. I'm sitting at the edge of the bed and like he's like up by his headboard. So we're not even sitting like together. Let me play it out. And I hear a knock at the door. I'm like, hey, somebody's knocking at your door. He's like, oh no, the walls are thin. I made that mistake when I first moved here. He said, but the walls are thin. So I was like, oh, okay. So I just brushed it off. So we go back to watching the movie, whatever. Next thing I know, I hear a boom, boom, boom. On the third boom, it just sounded like the whole door collapsed, y'all. I'm thinking, oh my God. This mofo, we about to get robbed. Like somebody just literally broke in his joint. And they about to take us out. So I'm really sitting at the edge of the bed, like I'm just accepting my fate because there's nowhere to hide. He on the third floor, can't jump out the window. So you're definitely gonna break your neck. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm a goner.